Hello, hello. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever it is that you're watching this video. Welcome back to Cosmic Lovers channel, or Cosmic Lovers Tarot, sorry, my channel. Okay, so this video is for Leo, so you could be Leo's sun, moon, or rising sign. And I'm doing a variation on a New Year, New You spread. We're just going to do it for the month. So this is what the spread kind of looks like. We're going to look at two different sides. And like I said, this is for the upcoming month of April. So this is everything you have to look forward to in April. We're going to look at this side is going to be all things that are leaving you this month. And this is things that are coming in. Okay, it's probably going to be all in a similar theme since we're just doing like a month spread or a month timeline. Yeah, actually, now that I'm saying this, I don't know. I just had a weird thought that maybe this might actually end up being a little bit longer time frame than a month. So this might be like a month and a half, 2 months, even 3 months. I'm not sure. I don't know why I thought that. So we'll just, I don't know, pretend I didn't say it maybe, or anyways. Okay, so we're going to look at first something you're ready to let go of, something you need to let go of, something you want to let go of, and then some ways that you can be aided in letting those things go, and then an obstacle preventing you from letting it go. And then on the other side, we're going to look at acceptance. So something that you are ready to accept, something that you need to accept, something you want to accept, and then some aids for acceptance, and then an obstacle preventing acceptance from happening. So this should be a lot of fun. I'm excited to get into this with y'all. I hope you're having a really good day. All that. Okay. So first off, I'm going to pull you an oracle card from the Goddess Oracle deck to see what kind of goddess energy you're going to be coming into this next month. Okay, so the Goddess card for Leo, please. A Goddess card for Leo. A Goddess card for Leo. Goddess card for Leo, please. Ooh, Sekhmet, anger and rage. Holy shit. This is funny because you guys are Leos and Sekhmet is the lion goddess or lioness goddess. Sekhmet is the sister of Bast or Bastet, another Egyptian cat deity. Sekhmet went on a murderous rampage at one point. She was known for her fierce, warrior-like abilities. And I can't remember the exact story. I believe she was tricked in some way. And she went on a murderous rampage and they had to calm her down. I don't know. It might be a theme for you in the upcoming months. I'm not sure. We'll have to get into your tarot and see a little bit more about what we have going on for you. Okay, but we'll leave this Sekhmet here as kind of the backbone of the reading, and then at the end I'll read to you from the Goddess Oracle, and we'll get some information about that, okay? All right, so something that Leo is ready to let go of. Something that Leo is ready to let go of. Oh. Huh. Okay, the Fool. Fresh start no more. Okay. So guys, some of you... Oh, fun. Okay, so some of you have been struggling with getting in that old I'll start tomorrow trap. I'll try again tomorrow. I'll try again tomorrow. You are going to be out of that. You're going to be seeing a rise in your productivity, in your ability to kind of follow through with things. And it's basically like something is just going to click for you this month where you're going to go, oh, I see. That's why I haven't been doing that thing. For some of you, it's like gardening. That's very specific. But some of you have been like wanting to kind of pull the trigger on like a gardening plan, and you haven't done it yet. You want to buy the stuff, and like some of you are realizing that you have gotten stuck in a if it can't be perfect, I don't want it kind of trap, and that is going to kind of curb itself. Okay. Something that you need to let go of. So there's some negative self-talk going on. There's some beating yourself up for something. So, like I said, we've got this energy of like, I'll start tomorrow. For some of you are struggling with some depression, okay? And some of you have been considering going to therapy. And I think that's where this rage is going to really come in handy. Let me throw some more cards out, and then we'll get into this, because I kind of have a lot that I want to say right now. But okay, something that they want to let go of, because I'm starting to see this is all going to be kind of a similar theme over here on this side, so I might as well just get all the cards out. Okay. There we go. So we got 10 of Swords for what you want to let go of. Yeah. This is definitely about trauma. Okay, an external aid and letting go. Yeah, let me just get all these cards out and then we'll talk. I'm still trying to get the hang of like doing these readings like on the video and stuff, and I'm realizing slowly but surely that it's better to just have all the cards out and then go into it. Because when I'm trying to talk and shuffle at the same time, and the shuffling takes them, it's just like, I don't know. Anyways, all that is just to say that I'm going to get all your cards out first and then we'll talk. Okay, so external aid and letting go, Emperor. Okay, great. Internal aid and letting go. Whoa! Hey. Calm down, cards. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Definitely. Okay, I definitely see what's going on here. An obstacle preventing you from letting go. Okay, guys. Okay, so... All right. So, some of you have been in a situation where you have been depressed, and not even depressed. There's like unfocused energy coming from you, and a lot of, I'll get to it tomorrow. I see you being like, oh, tomorrow's a brand new day. You know, I'm thinking of that Gone with the Wind line where she says, you know, after all, tomorrow is another day. But you've gotten stuck in a loop of that. And you're starting to be kind of, hard on yourself, to be honest. And so now you're kind of getting stuck in this negative feedback loop where your inner self-talk could really use some work. And part of the situation is some of you are in therapy. Others of you are doing therapeutic work without actually being in therapy. And you are very eager to have, to experience this change within yourself, to be a better version of you. And you've been feeling like this for a while, okay? where that is stemming from is it's a deep traumatic wound that probably started back in childhood. And for some of you, this is very, very, very specific, but it has to do with a father figure in your life, either your own father, an uncle, a teacher. And it's not that you repressed it. Okay. It's not that. It's that there's anger there that is not being allowed to be expressed. So when I was going through my own kind of traumatic healing, okay, and I was in therapy, I found that anger was the most difficult emotion for me as a person to process. Anger for me, it took me years to feel angry at the people that hurt me, okay? And even today, I mean, I went through some periods of being angry, but I don't know, I'm just not an angry person. Anger is very hard for me to hold. When I do get angry, it usually bubbles up in me and then I cry and it's gone. Or I logic it away or something like that. But when I was going through my trauma processing and I was in therapy, I had anger that was so intense that I had to figure out how to get rid of it because it was all consuming. Writing a letter to the person would really help. It's a no holds barred, set a timer, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, however long you think you can handle it, set a timer and then free write, okay? But just be prepared because even like thinking about going back there, in fact, I need to do this too. I kind of stopped mine, to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. I was going to therapy and I was on this like thing and I kind of just pulled the plug on it because it was too much. The feelings were way big. But what's going on here is you've got a bubbling undercurrent of resentment kind of building up inside of you that is not being addressed, and it's masquerading itself as lethargy. So when you have these unprocessed emotions, you can think of your emotions as like a check engine light, and they come on to alert you that your body or that something's wrong, right? Check engine light, I'm sad, or check engine light, I'm angry, or check engine light, there's emotions. And what your body and your mind want you to do with that check engine light is to acknowledge that the emotion has happened and then move on, So there's something in therapy that you can do when you have this upsurge of emotions and you identify them and then you choose a length of time that you're going to sit with them and you give yourself that amount of time. So and I guess where I was going with this is if you, and it's not your fault, I mean, we all do it, but if you ignore your check engine light for too long, then it begins to manifest as depression, anxiety, or even worse, it could actually become like psychosis in some cases. Not yours, but it could. What happens when we're very, very young and trauma happens to us and our check engine lights try to go off, our emotional check engine lights are going off, and it is not in our best interest to express that, because if we say that to the person who's raising us, we get hit, or we get screamed and yelled at, or we get neglected. Then we learn how to shut that check engine light off when it needs to go on. And this is terrible, because then what happens is we go through our entire adult lives with a faulty check engine light. And you know what? But emotions are energy, and energy has to go somewhere. It doesn't just go away. And so what happens is we end up being depressed, anxious, bipolar, I don't know what else. You basically, mental disorder, you name it, that's where it fucking comes from, is a check engine light that was never addressed and never brought to our attention, because when we were super little, we learned how to shut it off. So The major overarching lesson for like this coming up month for you is like, there is nothing wrong with you. The reason that you feel like you are pushing a boulder uphill is because you are. Oh my God, this is what is so cool, is that okay, so I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain like what I'm seeing for you. Your emotions are ready to come out. They are bursting at the seams. You want it, they want it, like it is time. So what this is really cautioning you, this is telling you that this is going to happen whether you want it to or not. But you do want it. You are like aching for it. What you want is this fresh start, okay? You want to feel unburdened with this every day, trying to, like I said, push this boulder uphill, which is what you've been doing maybe your whole life, okay? But the overarching message of this reading is that the best way for you to let go, or the best way for you to embrace this, is one, do a lot of writing. Okay, this Page of Swords here is like an indicator to write a lot. That's one great way to get those emotions out. So like I said, writing letters, but just understanding that like a big part of this, big, huge part of this is right now, this healing journey that you're on, that you're about to embark into, you're going to have emotions that are going to be popping up to the surface, and dude, they're not going to make sense. You're going to go, why the fuck am I crying about this? That was 15 years ago. Why the fuck am I crying about this? Just let it happen. Just let it happen. Remember that emotions are energy, and energy has to go somewhere. And we are a culture that has lived with emotional repression as the status quo for way too long, okay? Now the tide is turning, right? This like divine feminine angry energy is popping back up through the surface, and with it, like collectively on the planet, with it is coming this collective cathartic surge of like post-COVID, just like we're crying in public now, you know? We're freaking out. Some of us are freaking out in violent ways. Some of us are freaking out like, you know, with anxiety or depression, but behind every anxiety cloud, I promise you, is an emotion that just wants to be acknowledged, and a check engine light that just wants to be shut off. So you might have to dig. I called it diving for the pearl when I had to do it, and I still need to do it. So thank you for the reminder. I'm going to take my own advice here, but setting aside some time, you don't even have to do it every day, you know, once a week or something, where you just, I think you know the person that you have these feelings towards, okay? I think you know the person. So if somebody came up when I said that, that's the person, okay? A male figure in your life that really hurt you. I guess I should also just kind of throw a caveat out there that I'm not well, you guys know that. I was like, I don't know, I felt like I needed to be like, I am not a therapeutic professional. You know, I'm just a tarot reader. So obviously if you have some serious trauma, you know, I recommend seeing a professional. But also on the flip side of that, I had a manic episode and was, you know, hospitalized after seeing a therapist for 6 months, and my therapist didn't figure out that I was manic. I told her I was manic. She didn't catch it. So, you know, take therapy with a grain of salt too, because it's not always super safe either. But all that aside, you're being hard on yourself for something that is not your fault. Not one bit, not at all. It's almost like, okay, I'm seeing you like wading through mud up to your fucking chest and going, why am I not able to run a marathon like that guy? And that guy's running on ground. Like, your trauma is like toxic sludge that has built up around you, and it's making you slow, and it's making you quiet, and it's making everything harder for you. It's not you. It's not you. And it's not you not being strong enough or not being not I see you just being so hard on yourself. Like, why can't I get it? Why can't I get it? And no. You've got it. You're fine, you know? All you need is a fresh perspective. That's it. You just need to change in perspective. You've got it. You have got it. So your change in perspective here is what I want you to know, is that this is not your fault. You are doing the best that you can, and it's over. The universe, your guides, everything here is like, we are done seeing Leo struggle so much over something that's not their fucking fault. Now we're going to help you get through it. So they're like, be ready. Basically, the universe is like, we heard your call. We heard you ask for healing. And that is like one prayer that the universe loves to answer, is a genuine and sincere prayer for healing. Loves it. Because now, I'm like getting emotional just thinking about it, because now all your guides and all your spirit guides, your soul tribe, everyone that loves you can now swoop in and start the healing process for you, okay? And it's going to be so beautiful. It's going to be so beautiful. But the main thing that I wanted to impart upon you right now is that you are going to, okay, so I'm going to leave you with two things for the let go portion of this. Two main things. One, don't try to make your emotions make sense. Just let them pass like waves, okay? When you have an emotional upsurge, when you're going through therapy or whatever it is that you're working through, I promise, just remember back to this reading and go, let this pass like a wave. Let this pass like a wave. You might have to lay down. I know this sounds kind of crazy, but I just did this like a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. So I'm kind of like, it's crazy because like I'm, in a way, I almost feel like I'm right there with you, because I know what you're walking into and I know what you're moving towards, and I am so proud of you. Like, it's going to be hard. Okay, but it's going to be great. You know, it's going to be just go with the flow and enjoy the cathartic healing release of this time. The last thing I want to leave you with for let go, something to find, Gabor Mate. Okay, Gabor Mate. Gabor Mate. He is amazing. He wrote a book called In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts. He also did a documentary called The Wisdom of Trauma. I recommend starting there. Wisdom of Trauma. It's amazing. He's I want to say Austrian or German, but anyways, he spent 45 years studying specifically addiction, but studying trauma, and he's, oh my God, those are the things that he says. Very compassionate, and he'll help you kind of flip your perspective to, like I said, there is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with you. All right. So I'm going to move on to things that we have coming in for you this month. So we're letting go of a lot of great stuff. All right, let's see. I'm really excited for you guys. All right. Now here is things coming in. What is something that Leo is ready to accept this month? Oop. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. So we're still on a really similar theme with the Nine of Swords here. But I'm going to get all the cards out again, okay? Here is something that Leo needs to accept. Okay. So yes, the sun. All right, something you want to accept. Ah, oh my goodness. My card just went flying everywhere. Okay. Okay. An external aid for acceptance. Okay. Now, internal aid for acceptance. Whoa. Okay. All right, so this reading, it's very much staying on theme. So, okay, we're gonna get one more. All right, guys. So, there's something here in terms of what we're accepting about trauma perpetuating trauma, and a little bit about the people that you're surrounding yourself with. So we'll get into that. First off, so when we're talking about something that you are ready to accept, you are ready to accept your healing journey, that your healing journey is actually beginning. I think it's interesting because over here, we've got something that you want to let go of with the Ten of Swords, sorry. And then something that you're ready to accept, the Nine of Swords, okay? Both in reverse. So what this looks like to me is this is the start of a journey, okay? We're backtracking. We're going back to the worst of it, the worst moments. This is like you hitting your rock bottom. So this is you hitting your rock bottom and going, and flipping it and turning yourself back and letting these swords fall out, okay? This is like, I think of this card particularly as that moment when, in some cases, not all cases, but in your case, this feels like a deep wound. These are old wounds. This is like, okay, this is like, you had some shit happen to you in the past, and this is what shut off your emotional body. Like, your emotional body stayed like this, and then you got up like a ghost or a shell. This is when you got your trauma script. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the concept of a trauma script, so I'll explain. A trauma script is what happens when you undergo so much trauma at a young age. And it doesn't all have to be like physical or sexual. Emotional abuse they're doing studies right now with complex PTSD showing that actually sustained verbal and emotional abuse is every bit as damaging, if not more damaging, than prolonged physical abuse or sexual abuse. It depends on the person. It's a very highly personalized thing. What happens is like I said, we turn our check engine light off, and then we stop responding emotionally to the world around us. We stop feeling our internal cues. We stop feeling that, the gut pull or the, I don't know, like the shiver up your spine. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that when your trauma script takes over, you may behave in ways that are antithetical to who you are because you're operating on a trauma script. It's like the woman who was abused by her dad, and then she goes and gets in a relationship with an abuser. And people go, well, what the fuck is she doing? Well, that's her trauma script. Trauma knows trauma. So yes, she has now decided to be with someone who treats her poorly because that's all she knows. Her body is going to where it feels safe. But what's cool about you guys and your journey is that you have actually done the big first step of waking up to the fact that this is a goddamn trauma script. This isn't who I am. This isn't who I want to be. And so now you're in a beautiful spot, because now what we have here is the sun like shining down upon you, and your guide saying, we got you. Like, this next part of your journey is going to be difficult. And I'm not going to like mince words about this, because you're going to have to reevaluate and look at all the relationships in your life. You are being encouraged to hermit out, to stay, to really put yourself in a cocoon during this time. Because you're going to be shaking up a lot of things in your subconscious, in your unconscious even, when you undergo this healing journey. And during that time, you may become suspect or wary of other people's motivations. You might have trust issues. You might have random bouts of anger. You might have... But I want to be clear on this particular point. I do not think that you should isolate yourself, because you're going to want people around you, maybe people that you trust. This might be a good time if you're going to, if this healing journey is going to initiate itself, this might be a good time to go and stay with family, someone that you're really close with, somewhere where you can feel safe. When you're undergoing healing from complex PTSD, they recommend doing healing in 3 stages. So the first stage is like a very isolated environment, like when you're working through the big stuff. When I was first undergoing my big healing stuff, I was like not fit to be in public. I'm not even exaggerating. Like I would have these bouts of emotion that were so big that I could not be in public. I had night terrors. I had other like physical manifestations. I had panic attacks. I couldn't work. I don't think that your healing journey is going to be as intense as mine. I'm just saying it might be a good idea to go ahead and not do what I did. I thought that I could handle it on my own, and ended up having to be rescued by my own family and like taken home and like put into a safe place where I could begin my healing. And during that time, before I landed in my safe place, I ended up kind of re-triggering and like traumatizing myself more because of how much I was like out and about. So there might be a little bit of a lesson in that for you. But the main point that we want to like get across here is that you're going to be doing a lot of evaluating, a lot of going back and saying, oh shit, because part of the healing journey is like about rewriting and rewiring the things that you thought you knew about who you were. You might have revelations about why you attract certain partners, or why you gravitated towards that person who acted a lot like your dad, or why you left that person who was actually a great partner for you, right? all these things are going to start coming up, and you're encouraged to be as gentle with yourself as humanly possible. Because, and that's not to say that you might not want to make amends at some point. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's important to do, even if they mostly only hear about addicts and alcoholics making amends, but I think that anyone can make amends if they feel that they've behaved in ways that weren't who they really were. And as you start changing on this journey, as you start kind of exfoliating that trauma script off of you, you're going to start feeling things at a much deeper level. And like I said, you're going to look back over some of the aspects of your life and the things that you've done and go, oh my God, how could I do that? Well, because you had a trauma script. That's why. So that's what I'm really trying to get at there, is just to be super, super sweet to yourself and just make amends if you feel necessary. If you feel that's necessary, absolutely, by all means. But within the confines of your own self, understand that wasn't your fault. That what happened to you is what happened to you. And until now, you have done the most important thing, which is you have asked for healing. And so now we can move forward, in that together. Like, the universe has got your back, your guides have got your back. Yeah, but like I said, there is definitely going to be a time of like rewiring and like rethinking about some things coming up for you. All right, I'm going to read you the ritual for Sekhmet. And there she is. There's your goddess. Okay. Okay. Anger and rage. I burn and fume and shoot daggers from my eyes. I erupt and roar, though you've not pulled my tail. My edges are sharp and I cut deep. My energy is strong and fierce, and my displeasure needs to be expressed. Though sometimes mild, I can be very intense. Once incited, I am difficult to put out. I am always appropriate, always needed. Don't try to get rid of me. I need to be acknowledged and heard. I am anger. So that's kind of what I was talking about with the check engine light, like, yeah, this shit needs to be expressed, and it doesn't make you a bad person for feeling it. You are absolutely entitled. All of your feelings are valid. If no one told you that today, now you know. All of your feelings are valid. Sekhmet, the lion-headed Egyptian sun goddess, is known as the destructive aspect of the sun. Vowing to destroy all humanity in a fit of rage, she went on a killing spree. She was stopped by the intervention of Ra, the high god, who put huge vats of beer mixed with pomegranate juice in her path. Mistaking it for human blood, Sekhmet consumed the drink and became intoxicated. When she woke up, her rage was gone. Red in this painting signifies Sekhmet's scorching, smoldering nature. Sekhmet leaps into your life to help you face your anger. Does anger, yours or someone else's, make you feel uncomfortable? Do you fear your anger because you were taught anger isn't nice, or that expressing anger is ugly? Have you repressed or disconnected from it so much so that you don't know how to express it now? Perhaps you've gone beyond anger to rage. Rage is accumulated anger gone out of control. Perhaps you're in a slow boil all the time and don't know how to take the pot from the fire. That's exactly what I was saying. Sekhmet says our anger is part of our power as women. Don't give away your anger. Learn to express it in a way that can be heard. Learn to transform it so it empowers and energizes you. Your path to wholeness will be more vital when you make anger your ally. And now they give you a ritual to do. And dancing with Sekhmet. This is great. I was going to say, if there's a rage room where you are, see if there is one. That was really helpful for me. But if you would like, I'm not going to read you the ritual, but you are welcome to pause the video and jot this down. This is the first page. Or you can screenshot it also, or take a picture with your phone. Okay, and now here's the second page of the ritual. All right. Well, that is all I have for you guys. I wish you the best in your healing journey. I am so excited for you. This is going to be a really, really cool time. You're coming into a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful time. It's so exciting. So, I wish you all the best, Leo. It was my pleasure to be able to read your cards tonight. And if you enjoyed the content, please like the video and subscribe if you'd like to see more regular content from me. If there's anything you'd like to chat about, feel free to comment down below. And yeah, if there's any specific style video you'd like me to do, or if you have suggestions for anything in particular for the future, please don't hesitate to let me know either. All right, that's all. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.